You might believe in yourself more today. The only difficulty you will experience in your life will be forming and holding belief in yourself. And I do know because that's been really challenging for me, and it would especially be challenging for you during this time in our world because we're moving through a great transition as you are in your life as well. But that is also the title of the Any Advice message that's on the site today, and I thought I'd explain it to you because I really want you to understand what's happening for you and what's happening in our world because Wilhelm has given us that information. And so as you understand it, then you start living your better life, which is what we're all meant to do, but then you also help to create the better world that we want to see. Nothing is happening in our world accidentally. There is order in your life, and there is order in our world. We just figure it out at different times, whenever we happen to live. And Wilhelm gave us a new way of understanding that, and today you might get a little bit more of it. And I'm talking about this because none of us truly can believe in ourselves until we have seen what we have done or start to do it. For 36 years, as I've been receiving Wilhelm, I had no clue that it was going to turn into a new way of looking at ourselves and the universe and a new way for humanity, humankind to move forward. But that's exactly what I was given. That was challenging to accept, and it would probably be challenging for you to believe as well. I understand it because we've never seen it before. I'd never seen it before. I couldn't tell you how I went through my entire life and suffered through every horrible, difficult thing, and all of it's healed, and I'll be 75 on November 2nd. That is something that is challenging for you to believe, as it was for me to experience and believe, but I lived it. So I do know that it's true, and I do know that you have something within you that is being awakened right now, which is why it might feel uncomfortable for you, or the world might have looked a little scary, but that's not what is happening. You are growing on your evolutionary journey, and you might have a little resistance to doing that, as I did. I had complete resistance and I couldn't accept it, which is why today is the last day that I am offering this work at the rate that it is. It'll always be available, but I can no longer do it at the rate that it is because this is something that completely transforms your life. You own it forever, and you will experience a kind of abundance and wealth and happiness that you couldn't even imagine before. And I do know that that is true because it is a trajectory that you're on. Every life has a path that they're meant to live, and you're on yours, and it's being moved forward by the changes in our world, the changes in the universe. And this is the understanding that Wilhelm has given us. But I put something together for you because I want you to have this. But if you go to the website, Any Advice for Today, that's the first place to begin, because then you will see the messages and you will understand what I'm talking about. But what I also did, I put a little analysis here because I wanted to give you a greater understanding of what was going on and what the Wilhelm messages meant. And so when you click that, you'll see that it opens up to your personal awakening, understanding your spiritual evolution. Everything is consciousness. And so you'll start to see, as you read through this, you will understand so much more about yourself and about our world and how it develops. Because again, it's in consciousness. One of the things that Wilhelm would always say is that when you think of yourself, um, it was this come through in the channeling sessions, touch yourself, and then ask yourself the one question: what makes anyone better than you? Now ask yourself what makes you better than anyone else. And when you can answer both of those questions, then you have awakened. That is one that's really challenging for all of us because, see, we have different levels of belief about who we are and what we can achieve. So that is something that we're continually working on as we evolve, and our world is working on that as well. But as you go through the messages, you will see I went back to 2008. You'll see 2025, but then you'll see 2008, and you'll wonder, well, why was that there? Well, that's how I received information. Wilhelm gave me information every year on the same date that was telling a story. This is why this has never been seen before. I didn't know it was occurring. but to show you a little bit more of what that is so that you will understand that your life has the same sort of spiral, same sort of trajectory that you're on, and as you follow it, you start to heal and you start to understand who you are, and you're no longer afraid. You become empowered, and this is the process of self-actualization. I just lived it, and Wilhelm gave it to me over these years, all of these years. Over 36 years is what it was. But this one, I'll leave these documents, the links in here, so you will have them, because I do want you to understand. And because we're moving through some volatile times, that's how it feels. However, if you decide to become yourself and happy, and you'll transcend all of it, and that's what we're meant to do. That's what this work will do as well. As I said, I've been doing this 36 years, so I've got a lot of stuff, and I'm creating what I call the Wilhelm Academy, because it's all been in alignment. Nothing in your life is happening accidentally or in our world. We just figure it out at different times. Um, at the Wilhelm Academy, we understand that every soul arrives on the earth with a magnificent purpose, carrying within them the seeds of their own transformation. And that's really it. And so as you read through the document, you will understand all of it. And they gave a couple of examples of what Wilhelm has given us, because they've given us everything. We just don't believe it. I didn't believe it, even though I was experiencing the healing. But then there's something else I want you to understand, because it was challenging for me to accept, as it would have been for anyone else who would heard me talk about Wilhelm, who'd even come to the channeling sessions or seen some of the work. I didn't know, because it was just all came together. But that's how we all evolve. It happens over time. We just have to become willing to accept it and believe it. And this is where your belief comes into play today. This is the other thing I wanted you to read: the Wilhelm philosophy, a revolutionary framework for conscious evolution. And that is what we're doing. We're always in the process of evolving, and we learn different things as we live, and certain people are given different skills as we develop. For 36 years, beginning in 1989, a remarkable transmission of consciousness has been received through channeled communication known as the Wilhelm philosophy. And you'll read through all of this and you'll understand it. And of course, I did not know I was doing this. You don't know what you're doing either. You don't know what you have. When we come into the world, we're supposed to develop something new that comes within us, and that's going to be unique. And sometimes it's challenging, because that uniqueness is what you can't accept. I couldn't accept it, but we're meant to. I'm looking at this work over 36 years. I've healed my life. I've done all of this, and it's never been done before. But the most difficult part was trying to have others believe it. I had to believe it first, and that's what you have to do as well. But this is also, again, why I'm changing today. But please enjoy this video and these little documents I put together for you, because my goal in this lifetime is to make sure that you have a really wonderful life and live a great one, because we have the ability now. See you soon.